Hello, hello, hello. Good afternoon, everyone. I am Erin Davenport, Special Initiative Manager at Northeast Delta HSA. Thank you for tuning in with me and us on your lunch break. We have an amazing guest today. I'm so excited to speak with this woman. She's phenomenal. She does phenomenal work in our community, and we are so happy to partner with her. I have Miss Christal Wheeler here gracing us with her lovely presence today. And she's going to talk about the psychodrama Sour Grapes that we are sponsoring and partnering with her for this production. So, Miss Christal, how are you today? Can you hear me? Okay, Miss Christal. Can you hear me? You know what?
Going in and out a little bit. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. Okay, so you know what? We know who's doing that. He always come around.
Right,
You out here trying to do good
right,
things in the Lord's work. Devil, get up off us, okay?
right.
Not today. Everything was going smooth till right then. But Miss Crystal Wheeler, thank you so much for um, coming in and speaking with me today. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling great. Thank you so much for the invitation. I'm excited to be here and talk about sour grapes.
Yes, ma'am. I see we got a lot of people. Amen, Miss Williams. I see Miss Williams over here on the chat. She knows what happens when we try to do good work.
Right.
Um, so tell us a little bit about yourself. We spoke briefly, but I didn't really get a chance to get the info. Tell me about yourself. I know you are a creative and you are director and
Mhm.
writer, playwright. Break that
Yes.
down a little bit for me.
So I started writing plays. Well, I've always been writing plays, like my entire life, of course. You see that in kids, they will start whatever they are supposed to be doing, they start doing it early. So
Right.
I was one of those kids. I
Mhm.
would write creative stories in school. I started writing plays and directing plays for my home church around 2005, 2006, and did that all the way up until 2017 when my company produced, we did the production Dream Girls here in Monroe. And so that was my first community effort, I would say, at theater. And we took kind of a break. And of course, everybody took a break around 2019, after
Right.
2019. So,
1920, yes. Stopped
right,
everybody in their tracks.
right. And so now we are back in the saddle and hitting the ground running with this show.
Well, you definitely hit the ground, okay? Because I know I can remember in August, we were talking about sour grapes and talking about the production line and timelines and where we with this and have we started casting and things like that. So I know this has been a long time coming for me. So I know it's been a long time coming for you.
Yes,
Um, so tell me about your inspiration for this because you wrote this. This came from your mind, correct?
yes.
Okay, so just tell me what your inspiration is for creating sour grapes.
Well, it's definitely a Bible-based, scripture-based show. It's a gospel stage play. I don't like to call it a gospel stage play only because it's not traditional.
Okay.
It's not what we typically see when you think of a gospel stage play. But it's definitely scripture-based. It comes from Jeremiah 31 and 30. And I like to tell people as a little treasure hunt, go look up
Okay.
Jeremiah 31 and 30 to see what it says about sour grapes. And if you look at that, or if you can even just Google it. If you Google sour grapes in the Bible or in scripture, you'll see what comes up and it'll kind of tell you what this show is going to be about. I got my foundation is, of course, the gospel and scripture. And Dream Girls was fun. I love music. I'm a music lover, so that was a fun show. But this is more of my foundation and my first love. So I want my show to be an original show, along the same lines as the shows that I was doing in my local church, which are kind of non-traditional, outside of the box, more abstract. And from different perspectives. I love to touch on different perspectives. And so that's exactly what we're doing in Sour Grapes, with the hopes that everybody can relate to some part of this show in some way. So that's definitely the inspiration behind it. I wanted to do something Scripture based.
So, scripture based and something different. So, real quick, everyone that's watching, drop in the chats Jeremiah 31:30. So I know that you're here and that you're paying attention. Okay. So go make sure y'all go Google that when we get done, of course. But drop that in the chat so I know you're paying attention. One of the things that I really like that you said was that the non-traditional, like you don't want to call this production a gospel play. And correct me if I'm wrong, do you even want to connect it to any type of denomination? You want it to be for all the people, correct?
Oh, all the people.
Right. Right.
Every person under God is I like to say,
Right.
because that's what it is. I wanted to reach everyone. It's definitely nothing about a specific church, a specific denomination, but just the idea of generational curses versus generational choices, because those things affect everyone, our different walks of life, different age groups. At some point, we encounter this crossroad, this fork in the road, where
Mhm.
we're talking about, is this a generational curse or a choice?
Mhm.
And so that's kind of why I don't want to put the label on there. But trust me, my inspiration is absolutely God. Make no mistake about it.
Right. Right.
But I know that we've only seen predominantly one style of gospel play, and this is a different style. And so
Mhm.
I'm hoping that people, when they see it, they say, "Oh, that was different," and they enjoy the difference, in what
Right.
they see.
It'll definitely be appreciated. I haven't got a chance to sit in on the practices like my coworker Dylan. I am kind of jealous. I'm normally in the office, but I am excited because we've all seen the traditional gospel plays, and I am a creative like you, and so I'm definitely interested in seeing this abstract kind of bare. I don't know. I've seen pictures. So I'm just like I'm really really to see it. But one of the things that Dr. Sizer, our executive director, was attracted to this play, what attracted him to this play was the youth engagement,
Mhm.
one, and then also the theme of generational curses and how we deal with them in God's grace. So, hey, Lakeisha, thank you. She dropped 31:30 in the chat. Thank you for tuning in. But I know that's something that attracted him to this play and working with you because we have a really huge faith-based initiative, and that's basically what you just said. Anyone under God on this planet, on this earth, has to deal with mental health.
Yes.
It's not just for one person, one color, one race, one church, whatever. So I know
Right.
that's one thing that he really liked about that. Now, um, can you talk about this? No, you already did the thing. We pretty much, it's really about mental health and addiction, right?
Yes. And dealing with the traumas that come along with all of this,
Okay.
because
So
if you
even
have
if you aren't the one that's
right,
has
right,
has the mental health or addiction disorder, you know
right,
somebody and
yes.
you're affected that way.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. And I mean, when you think about the term generational curse, that's not a good thing. It's going to come along with some trauma, and so we kind of touch it on the traumas that can come along with generational curses, generational choices, and
Mhm.
how we deal with them.
Right.
Because you're not going to have a generational curse and everything is going to be sunshine and roses. You're going to
Mhm.
have some trauma. Are you
Some
going to
work.
be right? Are you going to be connected to someone who has experienced some trauma, and so you need to know how to handle that person, even if
Absolutely.
it's not you. And so that is what we're talking about in the show.
Right. Now, another thing, like I said, Dr. Sizer was excited about was the youth engagement. So your target audience is for teens and young adults, one, but then also you have teens and young adults in this production.
Yes, yes.
Why are we so focused on the teens and adults? I know there's a good reason, but break it down to me.
Yes, young people need a creative outlet.
Do.
Absolutely. People used to say, "Oh, young people don't go through; they don't know anything. Oh, you just live a little bit. You haven't been through anything. You haven't seen anything yet." But that is not the case in
Right.
2023. Our young people experience more in by the time they're 15 than some adults. And so they need a creative outlet. And I feel like theater, I love all of the arts, but I feel like theater is a great place for someone to come and express themselves, to get away from themselves a little
Right.
bit, become somebody else, give themselves
Mhm.
a little mental break from what's going on in their life and
Absolutely.
explore another world. I feel like it's it's the same thing as taking a book. When you read a book, you kind of immerse yourself in that book and you forget about what's going on. It's the same thing for theater. And I like for the audience to do that too. Just kind of put yourself in this new world that we're presenting and forget about what else is going on, or even find a solution to a problem that you may be facing, you know. And so for young people to be able to participate and develop their skills and focus on something positive is something I'm 100% behind and absolutely love to do. And they also get to learn that, hey, this is pretty normal. I'm not the only person that has an alcoholic in my family. I'm not the
Right.
only person, you know, that has witnessed a murder or some tragic experience. Like, I'm not the only person that has gone through that. So it kind of helps them relate to everyday life while they're here learning and honing in on their skills early.
Right. You were saying it gives them something to do and skills and things like that. What I got from what you were saying is also a purpose.
Yes,
Sometimes
yes,
you need a purpose,
absolutely.
um, to live, to get through the day. You need to look forward to something to be able to get through this. So that's what I got from what you were saying.
Absolutely.
Um, so Dr. Sizer, this is just something he has said before. I'm just going to take a piece of it, but he says, we believe there is medicine in creative expression, and the arts can help a person come alive in ways traditional treatment options can't. And see, two things. I want to know what's your thoughts on that statement, because you're a creative, I'm a creative, but that also goes back to the traditional, because he was like, it keeps can help a person come alive in ways traditional treatments can't. So we're also wanting to utilize alternative, non-traditional methods to deal with mental health, addiction, developmental disabilities, anything within that HSA services. But you were saying your play
Mhm.
was non-traditional. You don't want to do the traditional things. But what do you have to say? What are your thoughts on there is medicine in creative expression?
I agree 100%.
Mhm.
And there is just something healing about creative expression, being able to express yourself. We tend to keep things bottled up, you know, even adults. We tend to suppress things, keep things kind of buried down. But when you express yourself in whatever creative way, whatever avenue you want, it's something healing about it. It just seems to kind of, like I say, calm the savage beast within. You know,
Yes.
it's like, I don't
Yes.
know why, but I feel like God created us to be creative because of those reasons. We
I
need
mean,
an
he's a creative.
right, exactly, the ultimate creator. So
Exactly.
yeah, so it is. I agree with that 100%. It's definitely medicine and healing now, and I encourage everyone to find something that you enjoy doing that's creative. It may not be the same as me. It may not be theater. You know,
Mhm.
it could be anything. It could be creating anything, but I encourage people to find something that they like, that they enjoy creating, to get that medicine that you can't get when you go to the
Mhm.
doctor. The doctor can't give you that, you know.
Right.
But yeah, so I agree 100%.
Right. I agree with that as well. I'm busy. I'm sorry. Y'all hear my phone going. I'm a busy lady right now. But Miss Crystal, you still have my attention right now though. But so I want to hear just a little bit about your thoughts on this play. So your favorite character and story. From my understanding, it's 3 acts.
Yes.
Okay. And so who's your favorite character and which story? If I mean, I know you have a favorite, right? Or do you have to treat them like your kids? Like I love them
Well,
all.
you know, I have
Oh,
to. I have to. I can. You know, I can't pick a favorite because they'll
well,
be mad.
that's why I have one kid.
And see, I have three, so I know. I know. I
Okay.
know better. I know better than to pick a side. But for people who don't know, it's 3 acts, and each act is a different story, a different cast, from a different perspective, all with the same theme.
Mhm.
So I don't have a favorite character, but I do have a favorite story.
Okay.
I would
You
say
see
act
me you see me leaning in. What is
right,
it,
right.
girl?
I would say Act Two is my favorite because I feel like everyone is going to be able to relate to Act Two.
Okay.
And I
Act
mean
2.
everyone. I mean
Act 2.
from the oldest person to the youngest person in the audience. I feel like everybody's going to identify with Act Two.
Mhm.
And I'm not going to say what Act Two is. You have to come see it. You have to come see it to see what Act Two is. But I think that's my favorite.
Okay. Okay. Um And so so you also think that Act 2 is going to be the one that everybody can relate to.
Yes.
Okay, I
Yes.
took a note. It's on my notes, y'all. Act 2 and Jeremiah 31:30 is on my in my notes. So what do you hope the audience will receive from this production? Like when you sit down, you really think about it, like what is the message and the feelings that I want associated with this?
I would like for everyone to leave knowing that, yes, you may have generational curses that you were just born into. Like they were here waiting on you when you got here.
Right.
But
Right.
you have a choice. We
Hmm.
all have a choice. And that is the other part of that scripture. Um, they used to say that the children will have to pay for the sins of their parents, but we know now that we don't. So you
Hmm.
have a choice. You can
Right.
take another path, you can take another road. Yes, you were born into some things were waiting on you, but you don't have to stay there. You that's not that doesn't have to be your life. And
Right.
also that there is help in transitioning out
Hmm.
of a generational curse or a trauma as a result of it. There is help out there if you don't know how to do something different. You know this if you have something that is the norm in your family, sometimes it's hard trying to break out of that and break away from it because that's all you know, that's all you've seen. But there is help, especially places like Northeast Delta.
Hmm.
There is help in transitioning away from what is the norm for your family if that's not what you want to do, or from your surroundings. So that is my goal for the show. I hope everybody knows that by the time they leave.
Right. Right. Well, thank you so much. Anything else would you like to add about the production?
Uh, I would like for everyone to know we have some amazing actors and singers and dancers. You're going to get all of the arts when you come. All of the arts, you're going to get all of them. And we have some amazing people. I feel like we did a good job casting. Dylan even gave us a compliment, and I feel like he might not be an easy person to please. So if he said, if
And
he
he's also a man of very little words. So when he
right,
does speak up, he
right.
means it.
And so
Hmm.
he gave us a compliment, and I said, "Okay, we're doing something right." So I want everybody to know you will be impressed. You will feel like you got a good show if you come.
Okay. And the show is this Saturday, January 28th. There are two productions, one at 2:30 and the other is at 6. And it's 2 hours long, so it's not going to eat up your whole day. But it's going to be, I'm really excited. It seems like it's going to be a really good time. Head over to Eventbrite, Northeast Delta HSA's Eventbrite, and you can reserve a seat because it's free. We are all about the community, okay? Come to this free show, get inspired, get some information. We have some really, really great. Hey, Miss Hall, she said it's going to be awesome. It is. We know it's going to be awesome. But we have some amazing vendors, some partners that will be there giving out information. So come on out, you guys. It's going to be good. It's good for the family as well. Bring your group, bring your kids, whatever your group is, bring them out. Girl Scouts, bring them out too.
Yes.
All right. Also, you guys, thank you so much for tuning in with us today on your lunch hour. We have our 24/7 crisis hotline. It's 1-800-256-2522. Use that number. It's not just there. Okay. Use that. And you can also get more information about Northeast Delta HSA and our services and what we can help you with. Go to NEDHSA.org. All right, you all. Have a good day, Miss Christal. Thank you so much. And I cannot wait for
Thank
Saturday.
you. See you all Saturday.
All right. Bye bye.